Orleans Saints will go to the Carolina Panthers on Thursday, November 17th in Week 11 NFL action. Week 11 is hardly the time to panic, though it might be that time for the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers were staring 4-5 in the face with a good chance to get on a roll and grab at least an NFC wildcard spot. But after a fourth quarter comeback by the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, the Panthers are now at 3-6. The Saints also suffered a brutal loss in Week 10, so two teams coming off of bad weekends will play on a short week in Charlotte. Carolina is favored by 3, with a total in the low 50s. Both teams played on the West Coast on November 6th and had to come back home to face their next opponents. Obviously, the situation is worse for New Orleans with a short weekend travel, but the situation is dire for the Panthers, who are at 3-6. The New Orleans Saints are now 4-5 straight up with their stunning loss to Denver and 5-3-1 against the spread. Odds makers have done well with New Orleans totals, as the Saints are 5-4 to the over. It felt like the Saints were on the verge of gaining some serious momentum. Then an extra point got blocked and returned for 2 points, which is a rule that the NFL just added last season when extra points were moved back. Instead of celebrating a win to move to 5-4, the Saints are 4-5 and have a lot of work to do in the wildcard hunt. Drew Brees is having another fine season. He's thrown for 2,992 yards on a 69.9% completion for a 24-7 touchdown interception ratio. There are 3 bona fide options at wideout with Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, and Willie Snead. It wouldn't be a surprise to see Brees single out Thomas this week and try to get the rookie back on track after 2 costly fumbles last week. Mark Ingram has found his sea legs in the running game with 4.8 yards per carry. There's a lot to like about New Orleans' offense. Also, with each passing week, there's more to like about the defense. Unfortunately, the Saints will probably be without Kenny Vaccaro this week. The safety appealed a 4-game suspension for Adderall to play last week, but he'll need some fortunate test results on his second sample to be exonerated. The Saints have quietly held every opponent under 28 points in each of their last 4 games, which is a major upgrade for them on the season. The Saints have still given up 6.3 yards per play this season and have been torched through the air for an average of 293 yards per game, but there is visible improvement with Dennis Allen's defense. Carolina is just 3-6 straight up and 2-6-1 against the number. They're 4-4 on totals. Even though the Panthers are 3-6, they have been favored in all 9 games this season and should close a favorite again here unless something happens to Cam Newton during practice. There have been a lot of problems for the Carolina Panthers this season, starting with the reigning MVP Cam Newton, who had a concussion and missed a couple of games, and he hasn't been nearly as productive, even with Kelvin Benjamin back in the mix. Carolina has only managed 5.7 yards per play and 24.6 points per game this season. After posting a 35-10 touchdown interception ratio last year, Newton only has a 10-7 touchdown interception ratio this season. Because of injuries, Jonathan Stewart has been limited to 92 carries this season, with just a 3.6 average. The Panthers' offense has not enjoyed the spoils of last season's defensive performance, as turnovers and field positions are down. That's made games much tougher, and the Panthers have not been able to overcome those 2 drop-offs. The offensive concerns are one thing, but the Carolina secondary is just a mess. It would have been unfathomable to think that this secondary could allow a 65.5% completion rate, but that is the case this year. The loss of Josh Norman undoubtedly has played a role, but it's far more than that. The Panthers are 5th in sacks, and they still can't stop opposing passing attacks. That seems like a suboptimal situation with Drew Brees looming on the schedule. With Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, it's easy to see why the Panthers are among the league's best in stopping the run. Carolina even has 9 interceptions. When they aren't getting to the quarterback or picking off a pass, though, it has been a field day, and Drew Brees takes great care of the football, plus he rarely gets sacked. That spells trouble for the Panthers. The New Orleans Saints are in a very tough spot, but so is Carolina. At this stage of the game, given the 2 teams, it's hard to say that Carolina is definitively better than New Orleans from a power rating standpoint. That's what this line implies. This does feel like a must-win for Carolina, so maybe that's built into the number, but it also places all of the pressure solely on them. The Panthers could not stop Atlanta's passing attack and already gave up 41 at the Superdome, so why will that not happen again? Our pick and prediction is for the New Orleans Saints at +3. For our pick and prediction on this game and every other game this week, and a wealth of free stats and information, check out bangthebook.com.